morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Waking Up with Soop and Sugah. You guys are tuning into episode 101. It is a fresh reset Tuesday. Today is June 26th, and this is Take Two. I, of course, am your host, Soup Kitchen, and with me today, my two compadres, TJJ Gao and Life on Saturn. How are you guys again?
We are just fine.
Alright, for those of you watching on YouTube, you're watching the second take of this because there was a first take that got messed up. For those of you listening on Podbean, you won't hear this at all. So we're on Podbean, so let's do some housekeeping. We're on Podbean, guys. You guys can follow us and download the episodes, or if you just want to listen to them, you can go ahead and do so on Podbean. And for those of you who do listen on Podbean, stick around. At the end of the episode, you get the full theme song that was written and composed by Scarab Sile, with a couple tweaks by me. So you get that 3-minute bonus at the end of every episode. I'm just going to do it for every episode. I'm going to stick it to the end of every episode. That way you guys get to gym out, in your headphones after you listen to the episode. Why not?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. So, guys, after that, everything is done that I have to say as far as housekeeping and where we are now. I mean, of course, you can catch us on YouTube and here. But let's get started with the first segment of the week, which, of course, is video game news. And the first subject that we have here is GameStop is looking to sell their stores. So they're not doing as good as before. The digital market just seems to be the better market that people are kind of going to right now. There really isn't, besides the big collector's editions, besides your 200 collector's editions, there isn't that huge demand for physical copies. Everyone's preloading, downloading.
Which sucks, because I like my physical copies.
I love my physical copies too. But this also makes a statement not only on like physical and digital copies, it also makes a statement on the way GameStop does business. Because not every GameStop is the best GameStop in the world. Unfortunately, there's only like a handful. Saturn and Gao have the privilege of being near one, where they hold pizza parties upon releases, and they give away free shit with trivia. I've never been privy to this. I've actually had some of the... I don't want to say like the worst GameStop experiences, but I've been on the bad end of GameStop experiences.
It's been less than stellar.
It definitely has been less than stellar.
And we got great nerds running ours.
We have wonderful people running ours too. The problem is, it's the DMs and the other managers that just forbid the floor rep
and excitement
to talk
of
to
shopping
you.
at their store.
Yeah, you can't just stand there and talk to a dude about a game that's going to come out, or be there playing your game. That kind of stuff is for the most part like frowned upon.
They consider you loitering.
They do.
Get in and get out.
Yeah, basically. So again,
that's not cool.
Yeah, not every GameStop is this way, but unfortunately, enough of them are where they're losing business. So it not only has to do with this digital age of download, it has to do with more. Because there are people who do worry about the space on their system and how many games are downloading. And, when games are 60 to 100 gigs and you're working with 500, maybe some terabytes if you got an external hard drive, you're still limited on how many games you can get.
Right. And plus, don't forget that now these are all people that are going to be out of a job. This
is true. Stores could close. Who knows how many.
Sucks.
So again, GameStop is looking for a buyer. Let me take this away here. I think the biggest question is, I guess, who's going to buy? Who do you mean?
Disney. They're gonna do it.
Oh shit!
Disney.
Disney buys GameStop. Damn. I like it. I like it a lot.
That's my prediction.
I don't know. Is this an obscure one for you guys? It isn't for me. Circuit City comes
I'm
back.
bummed. I'm bummed.
Oh. No one. All right.
That was sad news for me just now.
Yeah.
That GameStop selling.
This could be a good thing though. Maybe the person who buys GameStop puts a little more effort into making GameStop better. Come on, change for good. Stores could not close; they could stay open.
They just got to remarket themselves different. I mean, I thought
this isn't Toys R Us.
I thought they were doing a good job with some things, like they were becoming more of a toy and comic store. That's cool. I felt like they were going in a good direction.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, you know, they did a little offbeat shit because they were like, you can trade in iPods and buy iPods and iPads, and you can activate cell phones there at one point. So they have had their, like, offbeat decisions. But, you know, for the most part, sometimes the games are overpriced. Like, to be completely honest, a used game at GameStop, like, I could buy a new copy at Best Buy or Walmart. So why am I paying the same price for not having a box? Like, cool, I get the game, and it might have some scratches on it, it might be pristine. I might get a box, I might not get a box for my game. Why don't I just go to where I'm guaranteed a sealed copy and I get everything for the same price?
Yeah. I feel like they're going to have to become a multi-purpose store, and they're going to have to figure out what demographic, you know, what are they going
Wait, Saturn, wait, we're missing Soop. There he is.
Okay. So what could be the other thing they combine with their games? You know,
I mean, I think the biggest thing they should do is just take tidbits from look at Best Buy, okay? Best Buy had a game reward program that was amazing. You would get 20% off new games, all right? If you paid them a yearly subscription, all right? It's 20% off of new games, a platinum card type deal. And the thing is, they put their games in cases, in plastic cases, so no one can like walk off with them. What GameStop does is they gut a copy. They'll take out the disc and they'll put the box up. All right? No one ever wants to buy that copy. All right? Even though they'll sell it as a new copy, no one wants that copy. And that copy just sits there on the shelf forever and ever, and it doesn't get sold. And this is the same thing with collector's items. They just sit there. Eventually they get reduced. Eventually they go on clearance. And then eventually it's clearance on top of a 30% discount. I've seen it. I've been there. I've taken advantage of stuff like that. That's how I walk away with, like, you know, $10 Destiny items that are usually $20-25. That's how I get all this Destiny shit that I get. It's GameStop saying, just fucking take it already. We don't have space for it, and it's not selling.
Right. I see that.
Like, I've literally been...
I never did like going up to get a game and they stick it in a generic box.
Right, they just stick it in one of their GameStop
I like the
boxes.
artwork that comes with the original case.
It's true. And like I said, if I can go... So, on two separate occasions, alright? One was Diablo 3, okay? I go to GameStop, I asked the dude if they have a closed copy of Diablo 3. He said, no, we don't. And then I asked him if you could, like, look to see if there's a store that does have a sealed copy of Diablo 3. And he was like, Diablo 3? That game came out, like, 4 years ago. You'll have a hard time finding a sealed copy for that. I was like, that's fine. Don't worry. Have a nice day. I'll see you later. I went to Walmart, and I found not one, but 4 sealed copies in the case. So, wow. GameStop employee, you don't know shit. And...
Yeah, you should have went back just to show him.
I should have.
You should have. Look what I found at Walmart.
Yeah, do you want one? I can go get you one right now.
Let me serve you.
You know, it's that type of shit. You know, I go to GameStop and we're like, hey, we want to get the Destiny collection. You know, it's got everything in it. Destiny collection has got it's got the original, the Taken King, the Rise of Iron, all that jazz. It's got it all, right? We go to GameStop, we go to buy it. and we pick one up that's used, right? Thinking that, you know, we'll get the same game. And the GameStop employee informs me that, hey, even though it says Destiny the Collection, the codes that are in here have already been used. So all you're really paying for is Destiny Vanilla. I was like, oh, cool, okay. So do you guys have a copy where, you know, a sealed copy where the codes are in it? They're like, yeah, let me go get it. She goes to the wall, she gets me a gutted copy, so it's already been opened. She takes the disc out, she puts it in, and then she, like, rings it up, and it's $60. I was like, whoa. I'm not about to pay $60 for Destiny 1. She's like, well, that's all we have. And I was like, all right, well then, have a nice day. Took my ass to Walmart, found it for $30. Sealed. So
why are you so good?
There's that money that GameStop, you know, just isn't getting, and I'm not the only person.
Right.
I'm not the only person. You know, there's GameStop employees that go on YouTube and they tell you how horrible their stores are. You know, this isn't a new revelation, and now it's finally showing. It's finally showing. GameStop. We talked about it maybe 2 months ago, where they came out with their numbers, and they were hemorrhaging money for the quarter. They were not making the money. So it's you know it's been a steady decline for them, and now I guess they're looking for a bailout. But again, it's not a Toys R Us situation. They're looking to sell. They're looking for someone to buy. So hey, I want Saturn's suggestion. Let Disney buy GameStop. Anything else to say, guys, on the GameStop situation before we move forward?
I don't know.
No. They brought it on themselves.
They brought it to themselves. All right. So, Minecraft is now has crossover compatibility with other systems. So you can play, if you're playing Minecraft, you can play with someone on the Switch if you're on Xbox. PlayStation.
That's cool.
Sony won't take part of this, so PlayStation people cannot play with anyone else except for themselves. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, that is really cool that you can play Minecraft with someone from Xbox from your Switch. You know, that is pretty freaking amazing. So big steps there by Microsoft and Nintendo. Fortnite, guys, is getting a playground mode.
Oh, ouch.
And what it is basically is you get to explore the map. You get to go out there, and you and your team, you get to explore the map, see where the guns are, see where the chests are, see where you guys can start building, start forting. So it'll be coming around. It's not out yet. It'll be coming around soon. But yeah, that's a great way to like learn the map and be able to. I remember that was a big thing. It used to be a big thing in video games. I don't know about you guys. I used to spend a lot of time in Halo, just in the maps by myself, learning the map. That way, when it came time to like competitions, I would know every nook and cranny of the map. So that's pretty freaking amazing. I like that Fortnite is doing that, and Fortnite definitely something that I play. Not very often, unfortunately, just because of time.
Right.
But Gauzy, you've never touched it, right?
Nope. No, but Kyle does.
Right, and then Saturn does. So
I haven't in a while. You know, the game, like, there are people who are just too good on it, and after a while playing the same damn map and dying and never going very far. There's just like other games that I could be playing.
Oh man, Saturn's burnt out on Fortnite.
Yeah, I'm done. I went back to Star Wars, and I was like, why the fuck did I leave Star Wars?
Damn.
It's such a good game.
Well, hit me up, girl, because I'm there. I'm ready for multiplayer Star Wars. Speaking of the Switch, guys, Dragon Ball Z Fighters is coming for the Switch, and if you pre-order, you get Dragon Ball Z Butuden, which is the first NES Dragon Ball Z game that ever came out. So I really like that, dude. I was like thinking about getting this Dragon Ball Z game, but now I'm gonna wait for the Switch because I'll get 2 games for the price of 1, and it'll be on my fucking Switch, so I can take that shit on the go. Like, the Switch just has so many advantages. It's really sexy. And the games that are getting put on it, dude, like, it really make me want to, you know, get into it. So I'm going to have a nice library of games for when the Switch comes out.
Yep.
So definitely add End Fighters to one of them. So guys, I guess that'll pretty much do it for video game news.
Other than the hotfix coming out today.
Yeah, we got a Bungie hotfix coming out for Destiny, so we'll probably get notes on that. Thursday. Probably Thursday in the weekly update. So that'll probably be the best time for it. So yeah, so you guys got anything else to before we move on?
Nope.
No.
All right, awesome. Well, let's move on because we've got not only a couple of trailers to talk about, but we got that solo review to do. So, guys, let's go on to our next segment, which of course is Saturn
Cinemadness.
Oh, there you go. Trailers, guys. Don't worry about it. Trailers, big time trailers, dude. Like,
yep,
Disney.
major.
We were joking around like Disney. They're gonna buy GameStop, but damn, Disney going hard on the live action shit, huh? Like,
yeah.
they're like, we have good movies. Let's live action those shits. And you know what? After seeing, what was it, the Jungle Book, dude? Like, I'm down. And Favreau is the one, you know, he did the Jungle Book, and Favreau's the one doing this fucking Lion King. All right,
Nice. He did Iron Man, right?
He did the first Iron Man. He did Aliens versus Cowboys.
That was a good movie.
That was, you know, swingers back in the day. So, you know, he has a really good repertoire of movies under his belt. He's a really good director. He recently voiced a character in Solo, and on top of that, he's directing a Star Wars show for Disney, which is rumored to be going on their on that live streaming service that they're doing to compete with Netflix. So this guy's doing some stuff, dude, and this Lion King looks amazing. And no wonder Disney wants to keep working with him.
Man.
The original voice actor, right, doing Mufasa, Vader, right? So
Yep.
it sounds great, and it looks great. They teased the hyenas, and this is all by all means a teaser trailer. Okay, there's nothing here as far as story or spoiler. It's just Mufasa talking to Simba, telling him about the circle of life and how he'll become king one day. And at the end, we see fucking Mufasa or Simba. I don't know who that is because it's just a lion. So I guess we'll see once we get another trailer. But guys, how excited are you for this fucking Lion King, dude?
Very, because like lions are like besides dogs, are my favorite animal.
Ooh,
So I'm hyped.
super hyped. Yeah, no, dude. After watching, you know, not only did we say Jungle Book, but Beauty and the Beast. Did you guys see that live action Beauty and the Beast?
No.
Yeah, that was alright.
No, that was pretty fucking good. And then, did you guys catch the Jungle Book?
Yes.
Yeah, that was alright.
Yeah, like the animation in that, the CGI, like it was so fucking pristine. It was like a gorgeous movie.
They're really good readaptations. Like they're doing a pretty good job.
Doing a fantastic job, yeah. What other ones do you guys think that will be good?
Wrong way.
I don't know. I still want to see what Timon and Pumbaa are gonna look like. You know, they haven't really, given us that yet.
It's a secret.
They definitely haven't. They definitely haven't. But I mean, man, I think I think they'll go good, dude. Like a nice warhog and like a little lemur.
Yep.
I
Is it
think,
a lemur or what is it?
Is it? Is it not a lemur?
Prairie dog? It's
A prairie dog. It's a prairie dog. Okay. So yeah. So I think I don't think you can go wrong. Like even if you like have them transition over to real animals, I don't think you can really like do that injustice. Like as long as you make fucking Timon cute, it doesn't really matter how much you do with Pumbaa, I think. But I don't know, man. Like they definitely
They're
nailed
gonna
the
do
feeling.
good. They are. They're
Yeah,
John
the Lion
Favreau
King's-
is gonna
Favreau.
nail it.
It's like the first trailer where I'm like, I think I would want to see this movie. The other Disney adaptations, I don't know. I think they're just giving me what I expect. You know what I mean?
Okay,
which is
so-
good. I mean, I didn't complain about like Beauty and the Beast after I watched it. That's why I said it's all right. Like I expected it to be good, and I got everything I expected out of it.
Yeah.
The Dumbo, also another one. It's like it's probably gonna be good, but I'm not gonna go see it. It looks basic. You know what I mean?
Oh, see, I'm gonna go see Dumbo because I've never seen Dumbo, dude.
You never saw the cartoon?
You've
Never
never
seen-
seen
nope.
Dumbo?
Nope, never seen Dumbo. So
Okay.
this will be my Dumbo.
I'm just curious how they're gonna do the crows on the line. I'm curious about that.
Crows on the line.
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
We'll see how they do the crows on the line.
All right, well then, yeah. If you're gonna choose one Dumbo and they're both the same, then maybe see this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely see. I mean, because they look like they did a really good job on him. He looks really cute.
Yeah, he does. And again, dude, it's that... dude, Disney is pushing for those, like, awesome-looking special effects. Like, they really... Between making people younger, like, making their actors younger, and making, like, animals come to life, like, they are really doing a good job.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna get hyped for me until they do like Mulan or something. I'd like to see that.
Ooh, which they are rumored to be working on, by the way.
Cool. Cool.
What are you talking about? I'm waiting for the Goofy movie. Live action.
Well, we don't really expect that, but if they did, the full-on makeup and all that stuff, making people look real, I mean, and not fucking CGI, that would be cool.
Yeah, if they did a little more practical effect, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if it's more cost efficient at this point. I don't know what's going on. But, fuck it, Disney, we're nailing it. Don't worry about it. It's just one of those things where I think it's an art that mostly gets used up by... man, I don't know. Sometimes the lower budget films do it more than the higher budget. Like,
Oh yeah.
big budget films that do practical effects are mostly, sequels of movies that have done practical effects in the past. Star Wars keeps with practical effects because that's where Star Wars came from. Jurassic Park stays or World, I guess now, stays with practical effects because that's where Jurassic Park started, man. That T-Rex was a real
Yep.
fucking animatronic that someone spent molding and painting and casting and
Yep.
making sure it worked and lining up wires and circuits and,
because
shit.
of it, and because of that, it stands the test of time. A lot of CGI movies are forgotten easily. They're all the same. There's a level of art taken out of it. When you just make things look realistic, you don't put style into it like Jim Henson or original Tim Burton or someone would have,
Yeah.
handcrafted stuff.
It's true. I mean, do you guys think Peter Jackson's Kong would have been better had it been an animatronic gorilla?
No. Because I saw, look at the one that they redid in '78 with Jeff Bridges and Jessica Lange, and that animatronic.
They redid
Kong
Kong with
was
Jeff
so
Bridges?
fake.
Yeah.
I have to
alright.
see that.
Yeah, with Jessica Lange and Jeff Bridges. Yeah, and
Yeah, but
the actor that played Kong and the actor part, but when they switched over to the robotic Kong, it looked like. So I
If
think what
they-
Peter Jackson did was great.
Huh.
Like, if Steven Spielberg made that Kong movie in the 90s and he put the same discipline he did into the the T-Rex as he did into Kong, it might have turned out all right. But it's also like who makes it as well, you know?
Yeah, it's all true. Like, look at Jaws. You know, we're talking about Spielberg. I think Spielberg has made that transition very much. You know, Jaws being a very animatronic based main character for a movie, and now looking at his movies like Ready Player One. You know, that's like the last Spielberg movie to come out, and that's like completely CG.
You think it suffered because it lacked that quality of?
No, I don't think it
creativity?
did. I think it was a really good movie. I think you'll love it, Saturn. I think you need to see it.
Well, look at the Planet of the Apes movies now, and the CG in that. And
That's
how
true.
Realistic
That
was.
that is definitely a movie that look at that one because that one I've seen the Mark
Yeah,
Wahlberg,
there's-
Tim Burton.
I mean, that one was okay. I mean, the makeup was okay. He did good for what he had.
Wait,
on that
there's
movie.
no way we're about to shit on the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes. That shit looked so nice.
Oh my!
It did
God.
for non-CG for the makeup. It looked really good.
But you're gonna tell me the
movie
CG
itself was
looked
the CG
better.
was way better. Oh, CG way better.
Then that's what I'm
Because
saying.
of the way,
Like,
yeah, but I'm just not knocking what Burton did with that one either, because that was a lot of work. But the
I thought that was a
CG
great movie.
on Planet of the Apes was
great strong
amazing.
word.
I love the ending to that one, even. You know, thought that was dope too.
So, you know, it's one of those things where, I don't know, it fits in some places. In some places it needs to be mixed, you know, like a fine paint.
Like Star Wars does it good.
Star Wars does it good, you know, the Jurassic Worlds do it good. Guillermo del Toro does it all the time in his movies. So
Yeah, Hellboy 2 specifically, really good, real creations and monsters and animatronics. And then, yet, the giant plant in that movie was CGI.
completely
so it had,
CG, yep.
Yeah, so he knows how to balance it very well.
Yeah, so it's an art form. It's an art form that needs to be balanced. That's I think what we're getting at. So definitely Disney. They're I don't know. Maybe they'll get it, you know, because they got Star Wars under the belt and they're seeing what they did with the Star Wars. So yeah, I mean, you know, an animatronic Dumbo maybe would have been cool. You know, like that huge T-Rex,
Yeah.
huge Dumbo.
Yeah, just like this Dumbo movie doesn't even like stand out to me. It's gonna be buried like Woody Woodpecker in a couple months.
Oh, it's gonna be a little kid. It's for kids. Definitely.
It's for kids. Well, thank you, Go.
Little kids will appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll see where they go with it. Circus movies, they're dying. The Greatest Showman was out not too long ago with a huge
A
advert.
musical, wasn't it? Wasn't that like a La La Land, but in the circus?
I don't know. Didn't see it.
I'll tell
Definitely
you what,
interesting.
when you know, like the Marvel Fox thing goes through and they get all the rights back, maybe a Nightcrawler, and Hawkeye like circus movie, that'd be great.
Wow. Yeah. No.
They both were in the circus, and they could even fight that villainous circus team. I forgot what they're called, like the Circus of Doom or something like that. They started out in Hulk. They were in Ant-Man. They were in. They were Avengers villains.
That's great. That's great. So
It'd be great.
Disney, please hire this man.
Oh,
It'd be the funniest
he
movie
fell
ever.
off
But
the
it'd be a great
cliff. There he
circus.
is.
That would be the ultimate Avengers kid movie. You call it A plus X because they had a crossover for a while there. Avengers plus X-Men. They would team up, like one of each would team up, and I think that would be a
Right.
great A plus X movie.
Oh,
I'll even make it.
Yeah, Saturn will write and direct for free. So,
whoa!
yeah, guys, it's looking good. Disney is really they're putting a lot of their live action work into remakes of their old movies, and I think it's just guaranteed cash. Like honestly, I think that's all it is. Like they know that this will not only like make money, but it'll make enough money to where we'll make our money back. See how that works?
Yep.
Another person that likes making money, Sylvester Stallone, because fucking Creed 2, the new trailer is out, and holy shit, guys, fucking Creed 2. We got it. We got fucking...
Looks
all right?
really good.
It looks really good. All right, what's his name? Adamus Creed, Apollo's son, has been up after a while. You know, he obviously the last movie he became champ, so he's still reigning champ. It's got, the trailer definitely gave me a Rocky 3 feel. You know, Rocky 3, Clubber Lang, Rocky. He'd been Rocky for a while now. He fought a couple fights, and he was still on top, and he was living good. And then Clubber Lang, you know, he kind of come in this underdog, and he just really put Rocco in his place.
Yeah, saying he's been fighting has-beens, and
so I kind of feel like this is the role that Rocky is going to take in Creed's life right now.
Yeah, with a very heartfelt touch again, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
I feel like, see, the old Rocky movies, they had a formula. They're like, how can we keep stepping up the fights? How can we fill people with more pride each movie? And then the new ones are all like, how can we get sadder? You know, starting at Rocky Balboa.
You know what? I remember when the first Rocky came out. I saw that in the theater, and that whole theater was standing up, going nuts.
Yeah,
it was crazy. I never seen people get so involved into a movie like that before.
Damn. What would have been to fucking be there in fucking theaters to see Rocky? But
it was cool.
But yeah, this is a great takeoff. It's basically a aftermath of Rocky 4, you know, because that's where Apollo Creed dies. My favorite Rocky movie, by the way. And it's
you know what? Well,
like a revenge story for.
I did like 3.
3 was good. I don't know. 4 was it for me, dude. Like, damn. Like that one was the one. So this is.
Oh
like,
yeah, because we lost to Mickey in that one.
Yeah, losing, but Mickey. You know, Mickey was old. He was going. He was kind of hinting towards that. Creed was
Glover
like
pushed him, and that's what caused it.
You know, Apollo was he was still young, you know. It was very unexpected, dude. Like for Creed to die, like we weren't ready for that.
Well,
we
that
definitely
wasn't
weren't.
In 3 though. That was 4.
That was 4. That was
it?
4. Yeah, that was Rocky 4. And then Rocco, like, dude, Rocco, like that's when Rocky went Super Saiyan. Like that, like he went out to Russia. He grew a beard and he trained. Like, he got swole as fuck, and then he beat Ivan Drago. Like that, I don't know, man. That was pretty boss. Like, Ivan Drago is one of like the Rocky bad guys.
Yeah, would have to say, yep.
So I really like that this is kind of a sequel to that, and what they're doing is, you know, of course, Creed's son is fighting for Creed, and guess who's fighting for the Dragos?
Oh, did I get it in?
You got it in. Guess who's fighting for the Dragos?
Who?
Victor Drago, Ivan Drago's son.
Yep.
So we're gonna get a son versus son, obviously, like revenge story. The biggest thing is, you know, I think Victor Drago.
And what I said earlier, I really hope it happens.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, Victor Drago.
Yeah, I hope we see Ivan at least. You
know?
know?
We'll definitely see Ivan because that actor has been
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, he's in the cast roster, so he'll definitely.
So who's playing Drago's son?
I don't know that one, but hopefully they'll get someone authentic. You know, I want a mean Russian accent. I don't know about you guys, but that'll like make the villain for me. Oh, you guys are still both down. So yeah, so Victor Drago definitely coming back. He's obviously going to he's obviously going to be the one who, you know, gets his. He's trying to bring. I guess his father was disgraced, you know, because it not only lost, but he was juicing. So if that's something that like came to light afterwards, the fact that he was like using performance enhancement drugs when he fought Rocky, and even then lost. So that's one of those things that I hope they touch on in the movie. And I definitely want to see. I know that they said they'll bring Ivan back. I wonder if they'll bring back Ivan's the lady, the general lady. I forget her name, but it was obviously, you know, Drago's wife.
Brett England. She was married to Rocky at one point.
No shit, she was married to Sylvester Stallone?
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
Because they did a movie together. They did a couple movies together. Cobra.
Oh, that was
Cobra.
the chick from Cobra! Ooh,
Yeah,
you just blew my mind! I love Cobra! I never made the connection! Whoa!
Mind blown.
Mind blown. Right. Oh, that is okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. I will never look at Cobra and Rocky 4 the same ever again. But Jesus, guys, man, damn. All right, I'm over it now. So yeah. So I do you guys think she'll be coming back?
Don't know. Oh, I missed my jump.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be cool if they did bring her
Sylvester
back.
Stallone's good at getting people to come back. We've seen that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, take a look at The Incredibles.
Expendable.
Expendables, sorry, you're right.
Incredible.
The Incredibles
Also-
with Sylvester Stallone! Yo, hey, Disney, make it happen.
Stretch lady.
So, yo, Stretch Lady. Yeah, no, I think it would be, I think it'd be fucking awesome. I think it does need to happen. And not only that, guys, I think, oh man, I don't know, man, I can't wait. This movie definitely looks boss. I'm ready for it, dude. I'm fucking ready. I'm glad, dude. I'm glad they're doing the sequel. Ryan Coogler is directing again. Ryan Coogler, of course, the director for Black Panther, and the first Creed movie is actually how he got the job for Black Panther. He did such a good job on the Creed movie that he stood out when they were looking for directors for Black Panther. So, I mean, depending on how good this movie does, that could very well determine whether Coogler, you know, how much money he gets for doing Black Panther 2.
Firewall in place. That should slow it down.
You know, definitely if this movie makes a lot of money, and it, dude, it becomes one of the better Rocky movies, which are definitely one of the better Creed movies, right? Because even though Rocky's in this and it's in the Rocky movies, like I feel like this is going to be one of the better Creed movies, especially if they keep this line going.
Shutting down.
Especially if they keep this line going. So what I want to see. I really want to see. I think I want to see him lose and come back. You know? I want to see him get his ass beat by Victor, and then I want to see him come back and win. The way Rocky did, you know? Because for the first movie, Creed was an underdog, and that's the way they treated him for the movie. He was an underdog, and he trained, and he got to know about his dad, and he came back hard, and he became champ. So he didn't really have that moment, you know. So I hope they give it to him, dude. It's gonna make for a good movie. It definitely will. So I'm excited. I'm definitely hyped for Creed 2. Definitely something I'll catch for $5. Like definitely. So yeah, guys, fucking.
I think it's gonna be a really good movie. Well, let's put it this way. they have the opportunity to make a really good movie.
You know what? I don't think Stallone has disappointed. So I think it will be. Last two trailers on our list, guys. How to Train Your Dragon, new fucking How to Train Your Dragon movie. All right. There's a white Night Fury and it's a female. It's funny. It's got its funny context.
Yep.
I think the biggest thing that got me was you get to see them age. I don't know if you guys saw the whole trailer, but at the end, Hiccup is like, he's got a beard and he's like, I don't know, in his like 40s, and his dragon is old too.
Yeah, and they're hearing legends of Kratos. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, and the white dragon looks like a Pokemon.
Yeah, he's gonna catch it. So it's one of those things where I'm excited for it. Definitely 2 was amazing. So I'm excited for 3, just because they did such a good job with 2. The dragons they added to 2 there was like this one dragon that was like a whole fucking mountain with other dragons that lived in it, dude. Like, the story was pretty bomb. They do a pretty good job with these How to Train Your Dragon movies, and the dragons look pretty cool.
Yeah, they did.
They kind of ruined it with all the extra like Christmas specials and like.
Oh, dude, I didn't ruin it for myself by not watching those. That's just DreamWorks trying to make money, so I'll let the kids watch that and keep DreamWorks floating. Because it was stuff like that was watched on Netflix that showed DreamWorks that people had interest in these characters, which is why we got the sequels. So even though I didn't watch any of that stuff, I'm glad someone did, because I got a solid movie sequel out of it. It's something that I think maybe sometimes movies should do, dude. Like, wouldn't it be cool if you, got to see, and I guess we'll talk about this trailer in a minute, but got to see the Predator movie, and then all of a sudden there was like a show that came along with it that you could watch.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a different Predator, maybe it's different hunters. You're like, no, I'm not really with that.
I would totally do. I mean, they don't really do that for adults. They did it for Mortal Kombat in the 90s. There was a 90s show called Conquest, I think.
Ooh.
I have it. It's pretty good. The villain from Terminator 3, the female Terminator, she plays a character in this, a permanent character. Pretty cool.
Okay. I'll have to watch that with you. Yeah, guys. So definitely something that I'm looking forward to. How to Train Your Dragon, and I think it'll be fun. It's one of those movies where they take advantage of the fact that the dragons fly, so they'll use those shots, those opportunities for 3D shots, which I think is pretty cool, and definitely worth the price of the movie ticket. So, guys, we briefly touched on it, so let's do it real quick. Predator. Fucking Predator 2. And holy shit.
It looks like Jeepers Creepers 2 met Riddick. It looks cool.
Oh my god. Like, this fucking movie. So, gotta admit, first trailer, not that good. I was like, I don't know about this Predator movie. You guys know Soop. I don't know. And trailer 2, I was like, shit, okay, it kind of looks like the Terminator. Didn't it look a little Terminator-ish?
A little bit, yeah.
I was like,
I'm trying to stall so you guys get up.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what they're doing with my Predator. But this last one, dude, like, we now know. And I like the team of bounty hunters that they have going after the Predator. And I like the way that they know everything about the Predator. And, dude, I'm digging the vibe to this Predator movie right now.
And there's a second Predator. It looks like we're going to see a Predator on Predator fight.
Predator on Predator crime, which needs to be stopped. But holy shit, is that Predator huge?
Yeah, he is.
He's like, he's fucking like, it's like they looked at Chewie and they were like, why isn't the Predator this tall? And they were like, I don't know. Let's do it.
You tell me, Dave.
So I'm glad they did it. Like, do you guys think this is like a new hybrid?
Or maybe they were just sending the scouts, and these are like the captains.
You think we've been getting chump predators this whole time?
Yep. I think we've been getting the grunts.
Damn. I don't know, because there's been so many, you know, not only so many movies, but so many comics and other Predator references to where they haven't really talked about this Predator, which makes me think it's like something new for the movie. Also, they kind of hinted in the movie that Predator was looking to like genetically mix itself with something else.
So, this is maybe the same Predator from AVP2.
I don't know. I just, you know, it's got this weird Terminator / Jurassic World vibe where they're doing like some genetic experimentation. I don't know, but
I definitely
like
know I'm going to hit the theaters for this one.
Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm definitely gonna hit theaters for this one as well. You will definitely catch me in the aisles. But Jesus Christ, I don't know, man. They did it. I don't want them to show me anything else. I don't need another trailer. Like,
Yeah.
I'm ready. What is
Yeah,
the date?
no more
September
trailers.
15th?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm ready, dude. Like, give it to me now. I don't even know why I'm waiting so long. But yeah, it's gonna be. I honestly don't know why they didn't do like a Halloween release. I think this would have been a great movie to go see. Halloween.
Wasn't there a Halloween
Oh, I
movie
think
coming
so
out?
too.
Is the Halloween movie coming out on Halloween? Probably.
I don't
think
know.
so.
I don't
But
know
that's
if you
probably-
would want to match that, but I don't know. Predator would probably bring in more money than Michael Myers.
Yeah, I'd rather go see Predator than Michael Myers, honestly, if I had to choose.
Right?
But I usually go with sci-fi most times.
Yeah, no, definitely. And on top of that, like, I really like the fact that I saw the trailer to the Mike Myers. It just wasn't. It wasn't as enticing as I thought it was going to be. Like, yeah,
Right.
they got the story there. Like, she's been waiting to kill him. You know, like, oh, I've been praying that he gets loose so I can kill him.
Yeah, but then it kind of erases all the past movies now.
It really
you know?
kind of does. So
Which that bothers me because he killed her on I think it was H2O,
H2O.
or Resurrection.
Yeah.
He killed her, and it's just like, and now everyone's supposed to just understand that he's starting from another movie and erasing that. It's just like horror films are not the type of movie where that is complimented. Like, if this were a comic book movie and Barry Allen fucked up the time stream and we accept that all the Justice League movies are in the past
Exactly.
and they were mess ups, I could do that. It makes sense. It suits the genre, but not with Michael Myers, man. And they gotta stop retelling it because Rob Zombie killed it in the first movie. It was the second one that was like, what is going on, you know?
yeah, the
Yeah.
remakes are really.
I think it's going to be
Ooh,
hard to top
yeah.
Rob Zombie's Halloween Part 1. It's going to be hard to top that. You know what I mean? That one even beat the original to me. That was good.
Damn. Yeah, I guess we'll see. But Predator, it's another one that falls into those instances. I remember those AVPs weren't very good, but that last Predator was good. The one Rodriguez did, where Adrian Brody went off to space. I guess we'll never get to see what happens to Adrian Brody.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. That was a good movie.
That's what I'm saying, and we'll never
What
get
was
to
a
see
good
what
movie?
happened. Predators.
The third one.
Oh yeah.
That was mad good.
Where they
Oh,
went to
man.
their planet.
Yes, and they had Predator dogs. Holy
Yeah,
shit!
like
that
these
was the
dogs
first-
in here.
And that's the first time they really touched upon stuff you knew in the comics, like how there's other planets and predators hunt aliens of all planets and get them together on a battle planet and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like Predators was like very informative. you
It
know?
definitely was. So I was very sad
Did it
when
flop?
yeah, it didn't do as much as they wanted it to. I guess as much as other like Alien versus Predator movies do. But you know that I think had a big part to do with Alien versus Predator. Like, I think those movies
Yeah.
made a bad name not only for aliens but predators as well.
For me, Aliens vs. Predator was alright because it's attached to my childhood. Like, it came out when I was, you know, a kid reading the Aliens vs. Predator comics, and, you know, you get that sensation you get when you see any of your favorite superheroes on TV, you know, and you're just like, oh, they made a movie, you know.
Yeah,
Plus,
I remember watching it.
At that time, you had Freddy versus Jason. They were making all these versus movies.
All these, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was bad too, so, you know, it's one of those
I didn't mind
things.
that one because, you know, the original Freddy's hilarious, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they kind of changed.
What did you really... The thing is, like, there are expectations with AVP. What do you really expect with Jason versus Freddy? I mean, really.
It's true.
I feel like I got what I expected.
I reckon you did. No, you did. But,
just a campy horror movie.
Campy horror movie. Campy sci-fi film. But I don't know, man. This Predator looks amazing. I think they're really gunning for it. I hope they keep this direction going. I really do. Like, I want them to keep coming with good Predator movies and keep the Predator line going. Like, I wanted to see sequels since Predator 2. Like with the fucking Glover. Like, that shit was amazing.
I want to see some straight up comic book stuff, and I want to see that fan theory come true. The one that says Aliens, Predator, Soldier, Judge Dredd, Blade Runner, all those are in the same universe.
In the same universe?
That's what I'd like to see. Yeah.
Damn, I mean, that would be dope, but I don't know. Who knows? Damn, who knows? That would be really dope, though. I mean...
And the only reason that's a fan theory is because there are traces of all those movies within
each other,
already.
I don't know. Like, we'll see. In a time where we're doing ambitious crossovers and you know,
I think Marvel set a trend for real. They did something amazing.
So we'll see. If someone picks up on you know, the pieces that are there and uses them, like you said, that would be cool. But you know, hopefully, it's that creative differences shit that gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah. That's because they're not having enough fans make the movies, man.
I know. That's what it is,
There are a few underground people that I'm getting proud of. Like, I was following this guy named Adi Shankar, I think that's his name. I was following him on YouTube, and he's the one who did, like, the bootleg Power Ranger universe, the bootleg Punisher with Thomas Jane. He did, like, all these cool things. And he's been working on actual movies lately. Same thing with Bat and the Sun Entertainment. They're getting so popular. They were the ones who did those superhero beatdowns, and stuff like that. And they just did a Valiant Comics thing featuring Jason David Frank and people like that.
Nice.
When fans make movies, it's good.
Yeah, when fans make movies, they come out pretty fucking swell. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if the corporate people start realizing what's going on, because you know Disney definitely does give you know the properties to the fans, and the fans know what to do with it. You know, Kevin Feige, big fan. You know, James Gunn. You know, that's how characters like the Guardians of the Galaxy become vibrant and favorites for a lot of people. You know. Like things like Groot is definitely like an icon, you know.
Yeah, he is.
So, and I don't think it's something where it's like, so Marvel can do Groot, but in the same sense, you know, DC could never do Batmite. Right? Like if they did Batmite in a live action movie, like that wouldn't sit well with you, would it?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah.
Not with the dark style they're going with, at least.
Exactly.
If Tim Burton did it, maybe.
Maybe. But, yeah, so it's one of those things where, you know, it'll transcend in one screen, but not on the other. For some corporate reason. So, yeah, guys. So I guess we're done. That's it for all the trailers. We'll move on to the last part here, and we'll try to move along as quickly as possible. But of course, it is our Solo review. Solo, a Star Wars movie. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you guys haven't seen it, why haven't you? It's been 3 weeks, and we're gonna spoil it. Unless you're one of those people that hasn't gone to see it because of personal issues.
You've heard things, yes.
You've heard things. Yeah, which is
soft.
huge. Oh, yeah. Huge.
If you're a follower, can't make up your own mind. I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah, what is it, fucking sheeple? Okay, if you're one of these sheeple, then get the fuck out of here. Because I've seen them all. I've seen the videos. I've read the reviews. They're all complaining about fucking SJW. For the longest time, I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. They're bitching and moaning. SJWs are ruining Star Wars. SJWs are ruining this. I was like,
what's an SJW?
Social justice warrior. So apparently, because we tell you that women can be heroes too, and that everyone has rights, and that everyone needs to be treated equal, and we apparently don't want these real world issues in our movies, which is fucked up because that was the whole premise behind Star Wars. George Lucas himself said that he modeled it after World War II, stormtroopers are Nazis, and a lot of this was modeled after real life. So, when people get upset because, oh man, fucking for the last Star Wars movies, the main character has always been a female. Who gives a fuck? It's not like they don't do any good males, Like, Poe Dameron is just as fucking good as Rey. Is Finn any less because he's not the main character? I don't fucking understand. And Star Wars has always been this, Princess Leia was a huge part of fucking Star Wars. Is she not a woman? I'm sorry.
People are shitty.
Yep.
People complain that comic books are getting too political now, and I'm just sitting there comic books have always been political. The first comics were political comics. What are you talking about?
What, do you think Captain America was, made up of non-political shit? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, right? Superman always in front of a flag and a bird, and some shit.
Get the fuck out of here.
I gave those people a list of, all these comic book, political comics that I thought of the top of my head that have been around since the beginning.
Yeah, so all these whiners and people who are all these guys who boycotted this movie, and
for no good reason.
The movie was good. It wasn't a great movie. It wasn't oh, this is going on top of the list of all my Star Wars movies. This is the favorite.
It was very entertaining.
No, but it was fucking good.
What a movie for.
It was better than Star Wars Christmas special.
The what?
It was better than Star Wars Christmas special. Did you guys ever see the Star Wars Christmas special?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. So, those are the standards, honestly, for me. So, this movie was fucking great. It was a good Star Wars movie. There were things that I questioned, but I think upon a second viewing, maybe even third, you'll appreciate it a lot more. You'll start catching his references a lot more.
I guess the movie's just not good for those Republicans that grew up with it.
Yeah, I don't even think it's that, but there are I don't know, man. There are a lot of people who hated this movie, who hated The Force Awakens. They hated The Force Awakens hard.
How could you hate that movie?
Hard.
Yeah. Well,
I'm giving my plugs at the end of this episode. You talk to me.
You come fucking talk to me.
Hey, we got this guy finally.
But holy Jesus,
I'd rather be an SJW than a POS.
Damn. What's a POS, Saturn?
I don't know.
I don't know. So, guys, I don't know, man. It's one of those things where I've seen it all. I've seen it all, dude. People get hard. People get real hard. So next week we'll be doing a Friday episode. We won't be doing a Tuesday episode, and that's mostly because of our guest. And our guest is a Star Wars fan. Our guest is a huge Star Wars fan, who actually didn't like The Force Awakens. Or not The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi. And because of The Last Jedi, did not watch Solo. So I want to talk to him next week and talk about that. But back to Solo. Like, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it everywhere, guys. Like, man, Saturn, like Gao.
Take us to the tower.
I will send you some shit so you guys can see. But the hate is hard, okay? And I understand some of it. Some of it is fans. You know, fans responded a certain way to not only fans responded a certain way not only to The Last Jedi, but to a couple other things as well. And what ended up happening is writers, directors, people who work for Disney, who worked on The Last Jedi, they, you know, instead of like, you know, instead of telling fans, hey, this is what we did for this reason, they just kind of came back a little snarky at fans, you know, saying that this is the way it is and all this other shit. And look, I understand, okay? You're a director, you're working on a big project like Star Wars. You're someone who, you know, if you say something, it's going to be picked apart and ostracized to shit. I'm sorry. That's the way the world is right now. And it's just there just isn't, I don't know, man, there just isn't that much. There's a lot of hate going on, dude. Like the Star Wars fandom, like so much hate. I guess it's always been there since the prequels. People have literally hated George Lucas to the point where George Lucas wanted to stop making Star Wars movies because he was like, what's the fucking point if I'm just gonna make shit that someone's gonna hate me for? That's why so many of his treatments just sat there.
We got, well, I heard one of the original trilogy was hated, and his first three were hated. So it's just a continuing Star Wars tradition, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
haters gonna hate. There's nothing new. So, you know, I liked it, dude. I saw this Star Wars story right now. Star Wars movie, it's a Star Wars story, and I appreciated it for what it was, dude. I really did. There were so many things. I think they did a great job, and I will let you know why. Okay, there's tons of people out there, and you can go out there, and you can read about, you can watch YouTube videos about how Solo is a terrible fucking movie. I'm gonna sit here, and I'm gonna tell you why Solo, Star Wars movie, was a good movie, and I'm gonna tell you it wasn't a great movie. I'm not sitting here going, it's my favorite Star Wars movie. It had its issues. There are a couple things that I will nitpick at, okay? But it was a solid Star Wars movie, okay? So It was. So let's start from the beginning, okay? And this is my first problem. Not a big one, okay? If you're a Star Wars nerd, if you're someone who knows, then this is something that it's a little bit of it bugs you a little bit. But if you don't know, this is something that doesn't. The golden dice. Okay? We start this movie off and Solo has just stolen a speeder. There's a deal that went wrong, and he puts his lucky golden dice on the rearview mirror of the speeder, and he goes, okay? Why, Soop? Why do you have an issue with this? Because he's not supposed to have those dice yet. So the dice are, his lucky dice are supposed to be the dice that he used when he won the Millennium Falcon in that game of Sabak. That is the reason they are his lucky dice, because they were the dice that he was using during the game where he beat Lando and won the Millennium Falcon. Again, if you're a Star Wars fan, you know this. Like, you... And not only a fan, like a really like a fanatic, like you've dug into this shit. You know this. But if you don't know this, then hey, these are just Han's lucky dice that have been with him since A New Hope, that have recently came up in The Last Jedi. Nothing big, right? Han's lucky dice. But yeah, we get to see this really cool chase scene. It ended up pretty awesome. I like the way Han was like, you know, we can make it. Watch this, and he gets stuck between two buildings. that little speeder. They have to like get out and
Yeah.
run after that.
Yep.
So they did a great job there. When he gets caught, and he was like, "Oh, I was just on my way to see Lady Proxima." Very reminiscent of when Greedo runs into Han, and he was like, "Oh, I was just about to go see Jabba," So they did a really good job of like really putting characteristics, of Solo into this movie. I think they did like a fantastic job of that. Another thing is so this one is an Easter egg, guys. I don't know if you knew this, but we have a Han Solo's love interest is named Kira, right? In this movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, and now Gao, where is Kira from?
Kira is from a PlayStation 1 or 2 fighting game like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter or anything like Bloody Roar, all those games. There was a Star Wars fighting game, and Kira was in there.
What was her weapon of choice?
Blades.
Blades.
Like handheld, like Kirby blades.
So similar to the ones that that Dryden was using in the movie.
Right. Yep.
So Kira, an Easter egg from that, and I don't know if you guys knew this, but originally in the concept art for The Force Awakens, Rey's name was supposed to be Kira.
Shallow and pedantic.
Yes.
Like,
Another thing that kind of bugged me after... so, Han Solo, he's being the smuggler that he is. He's got some shit that's going to make him some money. He kind of gets caught in a bad spot. He pretends he has a thermal detonator, which is actually a rock. And this is one of the funnier parts, right? And he uses it to, like, smash the glass. The sun comes in and it burns up that worm. And he gets out. They're running away. Kira and Solo. Han, I guess, because at this point his name isn't Solo. Kira and Han are running away. And they make it to... I guess the Imperial checkpoint, where they hand over the coaxium, which is what they have, in order for passage, and Han gets through, but Kira does not. And afterwards, they're still looking for Han, and that's when he joins the Empire. Now, this is the first time in Star Wars history where we have heard a Star Wars song used in Star Wars folklore. Like the Imperial March was the recruitment song for the Empire. That was weird to me. I don't know about you guys. Like, did that tickle your fancy at all in any weird way?
Wait, what part was weird?
Where he goes to the recruitment center for the Empire and they're playing the Imperial March.
Oh yeah, I find that just kind of like fourth
like
wall
a propaganda thing.
Yeah.
Why can't the music exist in their own universe? Why not?
I guess, but yeah, that was just a little. That makes me question whether every scene in previous Star Wars movies was the soundtrack for the movie, or if they were playing the Imperial March every time Vader got off the ship. Here comes Vader.
Right, that's hilarious.
Hit play. Dun 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 dun. So it's one of those things where now I'm questioning it. Another thing they did which kind of sucked was the way they gave Han his last name. So he signs up for the Empire, and the dude asks him his name. He's like, Han. He's like, last name. Who the fuck are your people? Who the fuck are you with? And he's like, no one. No, I've been alone my whole life. Oh, cool. Solo. Your name is Han Solo.
Yeah, classic.
That was just really bad. That was just a really bad cliche scene that I feel should have not been in that movie. So, yeah, again, it's one of those things where it didn't make the movie horrible. It didn't make me want to boycott the movie, but I didn't like it. I didn't love it. So, but again, it's one of those small things where it's like, you fucking nerd, just shut up and enjoy the movie. We get to see Mud Troopers for the first time. Of course, Han Solo joins the Empire, and it's very reminiscent of Legends, Star Wars Legends, the books that came out after the original trilogy, which kind of took place before and after the original trilogy. So I think they did a really good job here, referencing what happened in Legends. And they do this a lot during the movie, and I'll let you guys know when they do. But yeah, if you guys go back and read Legends, I actually just recently got the trilogy, the Han Solo trilogy, on hardcover. But if you guys go back and read, you guys can see why I like the way they left it open ended. Like, they showed you that Han joined the Empire and then he got kicked out of the Empire. And so if you want to like go read the Legends book, it'll probably fill you in on most likely on why he was kicked out of the Empire. Which is cool, because Disney did this thing where after they bought Star Wars, they were like, hey, the extended universe, it's not really canon anymore. But they've been bringing things from the extended universe into Star Wars movies, which is kind of cool, because they're making it canon again. Like, that's awesome.
Like the Darth Maul cameo from the Clone Wars. Like
Darth Maul, and we'll talk about all of that. Like, we're going to get heavy into Maul, because Gao didn't know. But Gao's gonna know.
No.
Gao no. Gao no, but he going to know soon. So, so the Mud Troopers, really cool. We get to meet Beckett, Tobias Beckett, who gives Han his blaster, and that's how Han has now that iconic blaster. The way he gets introduced to Chewie, the way they the Imperials throw him into the monster pit, it's very reminiscent of when Luke got thrown in with the Rancor.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That was very awesome. So they did a good job there, and then the big beast turns out to be Chewie, and Han knows
that was great,
right? Han knows a little Wookiee, so he communicates with Chewie and to get out. That was cool. That was awesome. That was really great. I love seeing that on screen. Really, I loved it.
Yeah, and then someone else in the movie, I forgot who, understood Chewie, and they said it was because Wookiee was an elective or something like that in their college.
That's funny.
What movie? Who said that?
Yeah, it's one of those things where you have to rewatch to recall. But it might have been the little forearm dude.
Maybe
the pilot for the ship when they're doing the heist. I think that's who it was. But yeah, fucking Chewie the Wookiee, and Han, he understands Wookiee, speaks a little Wookiee himself. And like we said, Han and Chewie, they join this band of smugglers and thieves, and they're planning a heist, and they get recruited for the heist. And Val, Beckett's love interest here, she mentions that she would, instead of two rookies, she would rather have someone, who's a professional, like the Zan sisters or Bosk. And this, of course, when they refer to Bosk, it's the lizard bounty hunter from the Star Wars movies.
Right, yep.
Yeah, he made an appearance in Empire, right? Empire Strikes Back. And he was also one of the additional characters they added for Battlefront. Ooh. So you were able to play him as a villain. So, that's a great Star Wars callback right there. We also got to see the Marauders, the Cloud Riders, which kind of looked like Fallen, didn't they? from Destiny.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like I definitely with the gear.
Yeah,
Oh
like,
my
Yeah.
god, you're so right. I remember specifically leaning towards Lid in the theater and saying, "Those look like Destiny, don't they?" I remember saying that. That's so funny.
So yeah, so it like this. It was really weird, but yeah, I was like, yo, Han Solo's getting attacked by the Fallen right now.
Yeah, and what they turned out to be, was so dope. You know, like I
Yep,
thought it was
yep.
great.
Yeah,
I thought that was
they did a
really
really
cool,
good
too.
job. And then the Cloud Riders, I don't know if you guys know, is a reference to a group back in the from the Marvel comics, from the Star Wars Marvel comics. So again, just stuff that they've has already been created. And now they're like repurposing now, which I think is amazing.
I'm reading an extended version of that movie's Han Solo with Donald Glover. They have a comic book out for it right now.
Oh,
Yeah, check that out.
damn.
The last Lando comic I read was some seriously good shit. It was like
Yeah.
Lando was exploring an Imperial ship that the Emperor had just set off, and it was full of Jedi stuff because he was trying to kill the memory of the Jedi.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Damn. So yeah, so definitely catch that, dude. They're doing a good job. Like they're really doing a good job with the Star Wars universe. Between the books, the cartoons, the comics, like you get the full fucking story. Not to mention Battlefront was canon. Fucking Star Wars Battlefront was canon. So fucking play that and you'll get some canon story, guys. Speaking of baddies, because the Marauders right. The Marauders were bad guys at first, trying to steal the coaxium that Han was trying to steal. But then you find out at the end that they're using it to kind of start the resistance, right? The rebels. So you know, they start off as bad guys, but at the end we all realize that we're all just fish swimming in the sea, trying to get through the day. So why not work together? So the big bad in this of course being Dryden Voss, which played by the Vision. So Disney, we're keep using the same actors, which I think is smart, honestly. So the Vision is the bad guy here. He apparently still has a grudge after being fucked up by Thanos, and dude, he's like the leader of this. They're like mobs, right? They're getting into like the underground syndicate. It's always been touched on, right? With like Jabba the Hutt and how there's like a criminal syndicate, you know. And it was touched on in the cartoons as well. You get to see like the Black Sun, you know. You get to see the oh jeez, come on, they're the Death Watchers. Is that what they're called?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what they're called, Death Watchers. So they're Mandalorians. So they dress like Boba Fett, Mandalorian armor, and they're basically Jedi killers, dude. And it's just there are a lot of like underground syndicates, mobs, criminal organizations, and you know, Dryden is part of that, and unfortunately, so is Kira, and so Han he learns that eventually. Beckett, you know, kind of working within that loose area. I feel Lando as well, right? Because he mentions like that job he did, you know. So I feel everyone is like working on this like loose moral ground. I feel like Star Wars is like a up here, down here type of story, where, you know, it's like up here, you know, everyone is rich on Canto Bite and enjoying gambling and all this shit. You know, up here we're rebels and we're fighting the Empire. down there, we're poor, we're scavenging what we can, we're fighting all, it's really got Star Wars, the Star Wars universe. Everything has a feel, whether you're a slave on a fucking sand planet or you're a rebel that's trying to get some information out that's important, whether you're a Jedi, like it's a huge fucking universe, and they touch on every nook and cranny, and I think that's one of the things that makes fucking Star Wars great. And they did a really good job in this film. So, you get to learn about Dryden and the criminal organization. You get to learn a little more about Crimson Dawn, right? That's the big one that they talk about.
Yeah.
And we find out at the end that Crimson Dawn is actually run by Darth Maul. And who's actually just going by Maul now. No more Darth. He's renounced his Sith ways. But yeah, led by Maul, and there are hints to this, dude, during the movie. So in Dryden's office, there is a holocron, and do you know what a holocron is, Gazi?
Nope.
No, why would you? A holocron stores information, whether it's Jedi or Sith information. It's something that has been touched on in Star Wars books, definitely in Rebels. The cartoon. So, it's cool that he has a Sith holocron in his office, probably gifted to him by Maul. We also see a Mandalorian armor, a red Mandalorian armor. I think this is a big, nod to the Death Watch, which we just talked about, who were Mandalorians that hunted down Jedi for Maul. So we get to see if you are a fan who has watched Clone Wars and Rebels and those cartoons, then you were watching these hints as the movie was going on. And you were waiting for Maul at the end of this movie. Or at some point in this movie, you were waiting for Maul. Those who don't, they got a total fucking surprise out of it. And I think that was amazing. I think they did a really good job with that. So Dryden, Beckett was doing this job, and it was for Dryden. Now he's got to come up with the coaxium, and Solo has this idea of fucking unrefined coaxium. Let's go get it. Fucking Kessel. Let's go to Kessel. Let's fucking get this shit. So, Dryden agrees. He sends Kira with him. They go off. They find Lando first because they need a ship. And were you guys tripping out when you guys saw the Millennium Falcon for the first time and it didn't look like the Millennium Falcon?
Like it had that front piece?
Right, because it had the front piece.
I don't know. I didn't really have too many opinions on it.
Really? Really? Because that's like your two front teeth missing for me, right? Because the Millennium Falcon is incomplete that way. It's got this huge gap, this huge U gap in front of it. And I'm so used to that being the look of the Millennium Falcon. So when I saw it in the Solo movie and it didn't look the same, I was like, what the fuck is this? And then they go into explaining that it was an escape pod that was there before. And then later on in the movie they show you how Han uses this escape pod to finish the Kessel Run. So it all comes together as to why, the Falcon has this huge chunk missing. Dude, I think that... I thought that was, totally cool. I really like what they did there with it. I was confused at first, then they explained it, and I was like, oh... I get what you're doing there. I get what you're doing. So, I liked it, dude. I really like what they did with it. You guys obviously were like, whatever. But, I don't know, man. It's shit like that I pick up on right away. I'm watching it. I'm like, wait a minute. And it's that nitpicky shit that really, only certain people notice. Not everyone fucking notices. So we got to see Lando for the first time. He's playing Sabak. Han, right? He's like, I got this. I'm gonna play some sabacc. I'm gonna win the ship. He bets a ship that he doesn't even fucking have, and he loses because unfortunately Lando's cheating. Lando's quite the cheater.
Yeah.
And there's this great thing that that Han does, where he like pretends he's a rookie and he's never played sabacc before, and he calls it sabacc, right? He mispronounces the name of the game on purpose. And then Lando, in a nod, knowing that he's trying to play this game, he calls him Han instead of Han. So we kind of get that why Billy D. Williams called him Han back in like the old Star Wars movies where everyone else called him Han. So I thought that was like another really cool, explanation for something that I've always like had a little bit of a problem with, for the longest time, Lando is the only one that calls Han Han.
Because of an old memory.
Yeah, now it's like an old callback, So it's something that I think is really fucking cool. So obviously Han loses, and unfortunately he doesn't have to make with the ship that he promised, because he's going to do a job with them thanks to Kira. Because Kira, she knows everyone. So she gets them all together. They go on the heist. We get to meet L3, right? L337, the robot companion of Lando Calrissian, and one of the pilots of the Millennium Falcon. And we actually we get informed that L3 has one of the best navigational systems, because she has like the galaxy mapped out in her fucking head. And then right? And that's the reason that like Lando's keeping her around, even though she's like, the character was pretty cool, the way she's like this like, I don't know, this
sexy robot,
this botanist, I don't know, is that like a robot, what do you call it? Like a robot
feminist.
It's not feminism though. It's like, because sure, it was a female robot, but she wasn't fighting for women robot rights. She was just fighting for robot rights in general. So I don't know. She was definitely like a robot. She sided with like the robots and how they should be their own people, which is something that we've like, it has been touched on movies and shit like that before, right? Like whether sentient life, is life, or it's been touched on in movies like Her and Artificial Intelligence, AI. That was a pretty good movie. So I like the way Star Wars did it here, which leads to things like C-3PO getting his mind wiped, and that's the whole reason that like even though C-3PO has been around and was built by Anakin Skywalker and has all this information on Anakin and Darth Vader and everything that holds like the balance of the universe, unfortunately he's a robot with no rights and his mind got wiped. So I don't know, I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a really nice thing to add to this character. We've never seen a character like this before in Star Wars, so I think it's pretty awesome. I didn't find the character annoying at all. I actually found it pretty hilarious. And she, spoiler alert, she dies at the end. So the way she dies is pretty cool too, right? Like she starts that revolution and the robots like on Kessel kind of like overrun the people that are there, and it was a really good scene. It was really well done. And she did what she was intended to do. She was supposed to make a distraction for them to get the fuck out of there with the coaxium. So it was cool. Han got to. There was this really cool moment where Lando goes out there and he tries to save L3 because L3 is getting shot up, and then Han is like, damn, he has to make this choice whether he dips or he saves Lando because Lando's been shot. And I don't know, dude. Lando had some pretty fucking heroic moments, and so did Han in this movie. They really I want to say lived up to their legends, right?
Right.
Lando in general, so I don't know if you guys catch this, but so while Lando is in the ship and everyone is stealing the coaxium, he's on the recorder and he's recording his memoirs, and he talks about he's talking about planets that he's been on before. And adventures that he's had before, and I don't know if you guys heard this, but there's been talk of Lando Calrissian spin-off movies with Donald Glover
I haven't heard it
because he did such a good job.
He did do a good job, that's for sure.
Dude, he really did do a good job. There was at one point though where he started off with a Lando, I don't want to say impersonation, but he was really close to Lando. And then afterwards, as the movie went on, he went less into a Lando impersonation and more into just being Donald Glover. I think the hint of Lando was still there, but it was less this trying to be suave 24/7.
Right.
So I think they did a really good job there. So yeah, we get the navigation stuff. I think I don't know, man. I think Lando's one of those characters that he's kind of like Han, where he's been out there in this gritty world, and he's not exactly a good guy, but he's not exactly a bad guy either. He's just a guy that does what he needs to do in order to get going. So it's one of those things where I don't know, man. They're just more relatable characters than the person that's good all the time,
Yeah.
Because you can't really relate to someone that makes the right decision all the time and has a great moral compass.
Right.
So yeah, so that definitely made that not only made Han more relatable, it makes Lando a more relatable character. But Lando often, when he was playing Sabak, he referenced the ocean belt, and that's a reference to one of the Star Wars Legends books. Lando Calrissian and the Flame Wind of Ocean. So, and he does this a lot, dude. During the movie, like I said, when he's talking about his memoirs, that's when he's talking about Ocean. So they insert these bits where you're watching the movie and you don't know what Lando's talking about, but you can go back and fucking read the Legends books, and then you will have a huge reference to what Lando's talking about. Not only that, you'll appreciate a lot more because you've read the Legend book. And like I said, they do this a lot. At the end of the movie, when Lando and Han are playing that last game of Sabak, he mentions having won a moon, on the Star Caves or something, and he mentions the Star Cave Nebula, which is a reference to a Legends book, Lando Calrissian and the Star Cave of Thumboka. So again, there's all these Star Wars, because Legends, all these books that were written before, that you were told that weren't canon. Now you can go back and enjoy them because they were canon, because they are kind of canon now. They're slowly canonizing them, and I think that's really cool, man. I think that that's a really neat way of not entirely throwing away all your old material and being able to use it and insert it. You know, the fact that L337 died and then her memory was put into the Millennium Falcon in order to do the Kessel Run. So L3 is a part of the Millennium Falcon, which explains why Han and Lando are always referring to the Millennium Falcon as a she. You guys ever, like, did that guys ever come across your mind? You guys are watching the old Star Wars movies, A New Hope, Empire, Jedi, and Lando and Han are always referring to the Millennium Falcon as a she?
Haven't you watched Gone in 60 Seconds? Men always refer to their machines as she. Cars, ships, bikes, anything.
Boats,
Your paddle.
Wow. So
Because it could break down at any moment.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
I mean, you know, if you keep up some well maintenance, it won't, Gauzy. So
I hear you, buddy. I haven't had a breakdown yet.
So you know, it's you know, it's something that I've always wondered. You know, I was always like, yo, why is it always a she? Like, so that clicked for me. That clicked for me real well. You know, that...
See, even Ahab, man, he said there she blows. He didn't know what sex she was.
There she blows. Yeah, I guess. So L3 in the Falcon. We also, I don't know about you guys. So when there was a scene in the old trilogy, okay, in the sacred first trilogy, where C-3PO is trying to fix the Millennium Falcon and the hyperdrive specifically, and
Right.
the line that C-3PO gives Han is like, your ship has such like a particular dialect, like I've never heard it before. You know, I've never heard a machine speak like this. Is basically the line, you know, which now makes sense, you know, because L3's mind is in the Falcon. So I don't know, man. This just brought a lot of things like full circle for me. Like, there were things that were small questions, you know, not big questions, because there's those big questions after you watch a movie. Yeah, the Kessel Run, you know, you were like, what the fuck is the Kessel Run? That was one of those big questions. And now you know what the Kessel Run is and why it was so iconic. The fact that there was only one route to take, that route was blocked up by the Empire. The alternative route was through fucking asteroids and cloud storms and a fucking monster, right? The Maw, which, again, the Maw is a monster that was taken from Jedi Search, a Jedi Academy Legends book. So again, dude, fucking Disney bringing all this legend stuff back, that was cool. Like, the Maw was cool. And the fact that it got sucked into that fucking black hole, you know, and that's how Han lost the escape pod for the ship, and they dropped some coaxium up in that fucking the engines of the Millennium Falcon, and they bursted the fuck out of... Yo, that was a sweet fucking moment. So even though I know that Han Solo did the Kessel Run, that moment where, like, the Millennium Falcon is wrapped around tentacles and they're trying to get the fuck out of there, like, that was still a nail-biter for me. Like, I think they did a good job. Or were you guys just like, yeah, fuck it, he's gonna make it through this anyway? Was that scene not any good for you?
Oh, no, that was a great scene. No.
Right? Millennium Falcon's wrapped around tentacles, it's in space, it's trying to get the fuck out of there, but it just won't.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
In 3D.
In 3D. Yeah, no, it was good. I think they did a really good fucking job. So, Kessel Run, loved it. I loved why, you know, the reason people are like, oh man, that was fucking lame. The only reason The only reason that Han made the Kessel Run so quick is because he put some coaxium into his fucking engines. Has no one in the Star Wars universe fucking thought of like adding some fucking nitro to their engines? It's like, dude, like, first of all, come off your high horse. All right.
Yep.
Second of all, you see the state that Star Wars is in. We're literally talking about like Civil War on top of Civil War. People fighting with people over scraps. So you think that people like have the time and the resources to just fucking put boosters on their ship with that much coaxium? Like, the coaxium was heavily guarded by the Empire in mass quantities, and the rest by criminal organizations. You think people are just gonna have coaxium in order to fucking build boosters for their ships all the fucking time? Get the fuck off of here.
Oh,
That's
hell
the first
no.
one. The second one, dude, the reason the Kessel Run was legendary was not because Han Solo got a boost to his fucking ship and the Millennium Falcon went faster than it ever has before. The reason the Kessel Run was awesome is because Han Solo took a shortcut through an uncharted path and used the memory banks of L3 in order to get through that uncharted path, and that's what makes the Millennium Falcon just such an amazing ship. It's like having a car that can literally GPS you anywhere because it has mapped out the world. Do you want to go to England? I know the best, most efficient run on how to get you there because I've been there. Like, that is what L3 came to, and I think that's cool. I think that's cool. Like, the story of Han Solo's GPS, pretty much. Like, I think they did a really good job for it for such a simple concept.
Yeah.
I think so too.
There's after they get out, they deliver the coaxium. There's a line because the ship is immensely fucked up, right? Like, the Millennium Falcon is fucked up beyond fucked up. And there's a line where Lando looks at Han and he's like, "I hate you." Han Solo's like, "I know." And that really it's
Yeah.
really reminiscent of the "I love you, I know" line between Leia and Han.
Yep.
So, dude, I'm telling you, they did a really good job in this movie. Like, there's so much hate for literally damn no reason.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah, like, you know, we hear about the big shot gangster from Beckett that's putting a gang together on Tatooine. Like, boom.
Yeah, we know who that is.
We know
Yeah,
who
we
that
know
is.
who that is.
Jabba the motherfucking Hutt. And then
Wait, I thought it was Darth Maul.
no, Jabba the Hutt,
kidding.
dude. This motherfucker. And then Beckett, right? Tobias Beckett is talking to Han at the end, the very end, the confrontation. He's taking the coaxium. He's talking to Han, and Beckett is going to teach him the last lesson. And he's in the midst of telling Han Solo what the last lesson is, when Han Solo already knows what the fucking last lesson is. Okay, last lesson Han Solo needed to learn: always shoot first. And that's what Han Solo does. He fucking pulls out his blaster and he shoots first. By God, we get Han Solo fucking back. No more of this fucking re-edited who shot first shit, okay? Han Solo straight up shot first. And that shit made me very proud. Like, the fact that we didn't get Beckett shoot Han dodge, and then Han shoot Beckett. The fact that we just got a plain Han shot first scene, like, that's pretty fucking cool. And I love it. And Disney needs to go back and re-edit that scene where fucking Han just straight up shoots Greedo, because Han knows that Greedo is there for no fucking good reason, alright? Like, Greedo is there to kill Han. Han knows it. Han shoots first. Beckett was going to kill Han. Han knew it then. Han shot first. Thank you, Disney, for correcting something that George Lucas had right, fucked up, and then didn't fix. Thank you for fixing it. Okay? On behalf of me. I don't know about how these two guys feel.
Oh, no, I feel the same way you do.
So yeah, and then at the end...
him shooting first is cool.
Yeah, him shooting first there was really fucking cool. And then at the end there, we get that last game of Sabacc. And I like that interaction between Han and Lando, right? At the end of the movie where Han walks in, he walks up to Lando, and he's like, you, and you don't really know if he's like mad at him or if he's just fucking around. And it's that same feeling you got the first time we met Lando Calrissian on Cloud City during Empire. Like, dude, it was great. All right, they did a good job of like vibing this shit together. They did a great job of adding Darth Maul. Like Kira, once Stridon dies, Kira takes his ring and she calls the boss. Voss had a boss.
The Red Crimson. Crimson.
The Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn, thank you.
Their leader is Darth Maul, and at first people didn't know what the fuck to think. They were like, oh, it's cool to see someone like Darth Maul. Darth Maul's race return because that's such a really cool race. And some other people were like, is that Darth Maul? I thought Darth Maul had died. There are a lot of people that are fucking confused. My friend,
I was.
My friend, if you're confused, you fall in the table that Gauzy was sitting at, where he'd only seen the Star Wars movies. No, but there's nothing mean here. It's that table where all you did was watch the Star Wars movies. And hey, we're not mad at you. Star Wars movies, that's where it came out. That's where it all started. You are not expected to, watch or read anything else. But unfortunately, hey, we live in that age where Disney, we're trying to make money. And we can make money in different mediums by reaching kids, reaching readers, reaching comic book fans. And we're going to give them good content. So we're going to give them canon. So in Star Wars Clone Wars, right, which was the cartoon that came out when Lucas still owned Star Wars, they brought Maul back. In an episode, you actually get to meet Darth Maul's brother, which is the one that brings back Darth Maul. Savage.
I think his name is Strip Maul.
Wow. Yeah, Darth Maul and his brother Strip Maul. Oh my God, Gauzy.
That's stupid.
You're fired. So
I deserve it.
You do. So yeah, we get to meet his we get to meet his brother Savage Savage Oppression, aka Savage Oppression. I like the way they named him Savage Oppress. Like, come on, guys. Like, how clever can you get? So yeah, we meet his brother. Yeah, it's more Savage Oppress, more clever than Gauzy's Strip Mall. So we get to meet Savage Oppress, and he finds out that his brother Maul, Darth Maul, not Strip Mall, has been living in a junk planet. So when he got sliced in half and fell down that chamber, he ended up in a trash ship. And the trash ship dumped him on a trash planet. Duh, it's Star Wars. We just have planets full of fucking trash. We also have lava planets. So Darth Maul did the same thing that Anakin did when Anakin got fucked up by all the lava and he was nothing but a little stump. He used his anger to maintain his wounds, to like not further inflict damage on himself, and he stayed alive. So on this Lothal Minor on the trash planet, Darth Maul survives by like eating rats, and he builds himself a pair of like mechanical spider legs, and that's where his brother finds him. He brings him back to his home planet, which is mentioned in the movie when he tells Kira that to go back and rendezvous with him on Darthmere. That is Darth Maul's home planet. So his brother brings him back there, where because Darth Maul has been living on this fucking trash planet by himself, eating rats. He's kind of fucking lost his mind. So Darth Maul's mom actually, because she's, I don't know, man, she's like a wizard. So she kind of Mama restores boy, and he's ready. So Sonny Boy is ready, and he gets a new pair of legs. Sonny Boy gets a new pair of legs, and they are indeed the legs that we see in the scene in the movie when he stands up. So Darth Maul gets himself a new pair of robot legs. He's no longer got his spider legs going. And him and his brother, they go about and they try to like rule a little bit of the galaxy for themselves. And they ended up with the what's it called? The Black Star, and they basically form the criminal syndicate. You know, they take control of all the criminal syndicates, the Hutts, you know, everyone, and they become so big that actually Darth Sidious notices, and Darth Sidious actually kills Maul's brother, and then he's gonna kill Maul, but he decides to hold off and get rid of the Jedi first, and then he's gonna get rid of Maul. And then there's actually a point in Clone Wars where Ahsoka fights Maul, and again is about Darth Maul is about to meet his demise, and what happens? Order 66. And then Ahsoka has to go. So Darth Maul gets away again. And then you get to see Darth Maul later on in Star Wars Rebels, which I really recommend. Okay? And this all... So Clone Wars obviously takes place during the Clone Wars, just before, and I guess up to Revenge of the Sith, right? And then Star Wars Rebels takes place after Revenge of the Sith and before A New Hope. So it falls in that timeline, same as Rogue One and Solo. So you get to see Darth Maul come back, and he again, you know, he's got a really interesting plot. I'm not going to ruin it for you guys, but definitely go ahead and watch Star Wars Rebels if you want to know more about Darth Maul and why he's around. Like, definitely Star Wars Rebels and the Clone Wars, you guys have to watch it, because they do, man. They insert a lot of Star Wars information that if you're a Star Wars fan, you eat up and you fucking love, because it all comes together at the fucking end. That's what's fucking beautiful about it, dude. And go ahead, dude, check it out. Fucking Rebels. In a Legends book, in a Star Wars Legends book, there was, and they do this in Rebels, but there's a moment where Maul gets to Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is on Tatooine, obviously watching over Luke. He's old man Obi-Wan now, right? And Darth Maul shows up, and they have an epic fucking battle. Obviously, the winner of this battle is a no-brainer, because fucking, you know, Ben is still around. So I wonder, because they put Darth Maul in the movie, I wonder if they're going to dig more into, you know, not only Crimson Dawn and Darth Maul's criminal organization and what he rules over, but also are they going to dig into... Because Darth Maul, dude, the only reason he's alive and has stayed alive is because of his hate for Obi-Wan. Like, he hates Obi-Wan to the point where, dude, he kills the chick that Obi-Wan is, like, fucking into. Like, again, Clone Wars. Go fucking watch Clone Wars. Like, Darth Maul has a huge grudge against Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that is, like, his mission in life, is to fucking kill Obi-Wan, okay? Kenobi, just making grudges wherever he goes, alright? He, like, makes Sith like no one's business. So, fucking Sith up. So, he's got this grudge, and I don't know, are they? There were rumors of a Obi-Wan movie, the way all these anthologies have been going. So if they do an Obi-Wan movie, it would be cool if like the bad guy for that was Darth Maul. Where like Obi-Wan finds out about the Red Dawn and how Darth Maul has been going around, and we get to see that epic fight. We get to see Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan for the last time. And again, there were rumors of this movie going around, but after Solo, dude, like Disney lost money on the Star Wars franchise to the point where a lot of projects that they had greenlit, the Boba Fett Solo movie, the Obi-Wan Solo movie, the Ryan Johnson Star Wars trilogy, all of these things have all been now put on hold because of the movie because of the money that was lost in the Solo movie.
Oh, thank you, haters.
Thank you, haters. So, of course, they're patting themselves on the back, going, yes, Star Wars is going to get better now. But, man, I really don't know what this will do for Star Wars, because I was ready for a Boba Fett movie. Like, sorry, haters, but that would have been cool to tie everything together. Like, that makes sense. Like, Boba Fett is Mandalorian. He's a fucking Mandalorian clone because Jango Fett was a Mandalorian dude. Like, they rock that Mandalorian armor. Mandalorians have a long, deep history with Black Saber, the Jedi, fucking Darth Maul, the Death Watchers. It would have been cool. And then you find out that Darth Maul is the leader of the criminal syndicate, and Jabba the Hutt is this criminal syndicate, part of the criminal syndicate. And hey, fucking Boba Fett works for Jabba the Hutt, and fucking Darth Maul was the leader of the Death Watchers that were Mandalorian. So do you think at some point, like, Darth Maul and fucking Boba Fett met? Like, I don't know, man. Like, there's all these cool things that could have happened. Boba Fett, we know, is a fucking Jedi killer. He has lightsabers. Again, expanded universe, Legends, you get to know that Boba Fett takes a fucking lightsaber and he cuts himself out of that fucking worm that eats him up in fucking Return of the Jedi. So, like, there's all this story there. There's all this meat on my bone that I'm not going to be able to get to, seems like.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. How do you feel? What do we think here? This whole... First of all, Solo. How was Solo for you guys? Like, I loved it.
I loved it.
It wasn't Deadpool 2. It wasn't a 10 out of 10, but shit, it was at least an 8.
No, I left Deadpool 2, like I said, like, yeah, I saw a good movie, and I even, but I didn't leave Deadpool 2 pumped, like even with Juggernaut, all the great things that I have nothing to complain about, but I left Solo pumped, you know what I mean? I give Solo like a 9 out of 10. Like, I loved it a lot. It was practically flawless to me. I mean, they went with the comics, and the books. He joined the Empire, at one point him and Chewbacca were freeing like Wookiees, and that was totally in the books. It was great.
Yeah, they did a really good job, dude. Like, the Easter eggs, everything they planted, it did. It came around full circle for me. I enjoyed it, dude. I really enjoyed it. Gauzy, being a long-term Star Wars fan and obviously the older one of the three of us, what did you think of this?
Of what? The Solo?
Yeah, Solo.
I loved it. I mean, it was. I mean, I loved how he met Chewie. I thought that was really cool. Landau, the Falcon story, everything. It was a good movie. I really liked it.
Yeah, everything you love about Star Wars is in it.
Exactly.
I felt the same way about Rogue One. People hated that, but like, I was like, why? Everything that you love about Star Wars is in it. You're just not getting lightsaber shit, but
Right, and even then, you got to see fucking Darth Vader kick some ass in that hallway scene where he's trying to get the plans back. Like, you got your lightsaber action. I know I did. I fucking came all over what I was wearing that day. So it's one of those fucking things where it's like, damn, you really can't. You can please some of the people some of the time, but you can't please all the people anytime. Like, shit. But yeah, Gauzy, being a person that you've, like, since the dawn of Star Wars, you've seen it at the movie theaters, like, yeah, it's good. It's good to know that you weren't disappointed by this movie. That
Oh God, no.
Han Solo as a character wasn't ruined for you, and that Star Wars as a universe wasn't ruined for you.
Nope.
Props, dude.
Nope.
You're one of the ones that made it.
I don't, I think just people, some people, they just have to overanalyze shit and then they ruin it for themselves when you might as well, when you just go in for the story, enjoy what somebody's vision was.
Yeah.
Instead of being so judgmental. Oh, it wasn't this, and oh, it wasn't that, and oh, that was stupid. It's like, wah, leave.
Yeah, because at least this thing that you hate employed a ton of people.
Right.
It was
true.
a good movie. The train scene was awesome.
Train heist was awesome.
Just, it was a good movie.
It was. It was.
I
Really
was. I was entertained. And if you're entertained, then that's what you go to the movies
That
for.
was right. That was the point. Was to be entertained. Yeah. Like there was a point in the movie where L3 mentions to Lando Calrissian that her circuits are sticking again, and that he has to do the thing. I saw the seed and I thought it was funny. I thought it was like, damn, kind of like when you have to give someone a foot rub. We all have significant others, and you don't really want to do it, but you do it. That's kind of what I took it as that scene as, right? And of course, people online started talking about the scene, and I think the mistake was that the writers for the movie, one of the writers for the movie, responded via Twitter. I think that was the mistake. But people were talking about it, like, what, Lando Calrissian is doing shit with robots, like, and then again, one of the writers came out on Twitter and said, Star Wars is a universe where everyone can be who the fuck they are, dude. And
it was a funny scene.
Lando Calrissian, he's a fucking pansexual. So Lando Calrissian is into chicks, dudes, robots, aliens. If Lando Calrissian's attracted to it, he's gonna fuck it. Like, cool. Like, I totally got that vibe from, like, Empire Strikes Back. We have a suave-ass, smooth-talking dude in fucking silk capes. He's running orgies. Like, get the fuck out of here, okay? Like, he might as well be the Grandmaster, okay? He's got a ship for orgies. So,
right.
This isn't anything new. Lando Calrissian drinks Colt 45. What do you think he's doing it for? To enjoy baseball games? That dude's getting his groove on. Like, get the fuck out of here, okay? Now Star Wars fans are upset because they didn't want to know that Lando Calrissian is a pansexual. Why does that change Lando Calrissian for you? Is he all of a sudden less of a badass because the dude will fuck anything? You give me a green chick with tentacles for hair and I'll fuck her.
Look at James T. Kirk. Nobody bitches about him.
No one bitches about Kirk. He's fucking everything else in space too. So all of a sudden now, because Lando might be into robots, like, you're gonna tell me you wouldn't fuck Scarlett Johansson's Ghost in a Shell? Like, get the fuck out of here. You would stick your dick in a robot too. Like,
right, and that's how small-minded people are. If Lando had, if he had a girlfriend in the movie, it would be fine, If she's like, if her hair was sticky from his last night's jizz, everyone would be like, oh, that's appropriate.
It's like, oh yeah, Lando Calrissian, he's tapping that. He's a fucking player. But now he's playing robots. Like, whoa, that's not cool, dude. You're telling me Lando's into other shit? It's like, who cares, dude? That doesn't change who Lando is. Like, why should that change anything? That doesn't change.
It's not our world. It's his world.
It's his world, dude. Like, these are the choices that Lando's made. And apparently you don't know shit, because this has always been Lando. I've always gotten this vibe from Lando Calrissian, almost like this Hugh Hefner type of vibe where it's like anything goes after dark type shit.
Oh yeah, look at like how suave he was being on Cloud City with Princess Leia.
Princess
Give me a
Leia,
break.
like, yeah, totally. Like, hey, Han, you want to tag team this girl? Like, you know, it's that shit that like it's always been underlined, underimplied. It's always been there at the very bottom in that small fucking print. You just had to pick up on it. Like, Lando Calrissian has always been a fucking space player. Okay, like there's no changing that, like at all. You know, part of
I
me even
know.
questioned if, like, you know, when like Kira herself, when she like first introduced Han to Lando, you know, she like mentioned how she was like attracted to him because of the way he wore his clothes and composed himself. You know, like fuck, Lando Calrissian is an attractive motherfucker. People try to fuck. Like, I'm sorry, Star Wars fanboys, that you don't get laid, and you're a little uncomfortable around the fact that Lando does. Like, you know,
Not our fault.
like I'm very
I
sorry.
hate when the people who think they can make America great again think they can make the sci-fi world great again. You know, it's just like stay the fuck out of it.
Stay the fuck out of it. So yeah,
This is ours.
you know, I didn't have a problem with it, dude. Star Wars Solo Story didn't ruin any characters. It didn't ruin the Millennium Falcon by putting a robot activist into it. It didn't ruin Lando Calrissian for me by making him a pansexual. It didn't ruin Han for me because he wasn't the badass everyone expected him to be in this movie. This movie was a coming of age movie for Han Solo. He wasn't always the smuggler who fucking made choices like that. Okay, in the beginning, he starts off. He's not 100% certain of himself. He's making choices that, you know, aren't 100. He's being betrayed by people. This is life, dude. You don't come out of the womb a fucking expert in everything. All right? You go through your shit, your trials and your tribulations, and you fail some and you win some. And the ones that you fail, you learn something from that shit. And I felt that that's exactly what the Solo movie was. It was me getting to know how Han Solo became that confident, cocky, fucking motherfucker that he is. That fucking nerf herder, that's how he became who he is, dude. And that's what this movie was for me, and I appreciated it.
I definitely believe the movie will be viewed differently later on. for
Yeah,
sure.
same. I'm with you in that spectrum where, you know, 20 years from now when other generations are watching Star Wars and they see Star Wars as a whole, not divided by this timeline bullshit, I think they will. They'll appreciate it as a whole. The way people now appreciate the prequels as a whole. You know, there are a lot of people that are like, oh, the prequels, it's not my Star Wars. That's not, I don't know who Star Wars is. It's not my Star Wars. But now it's like becoming more accepted. Like the prequels and everything together. Like, fuck it. Just give it time and it's all going to mesh together beautifully the way it's fucking supposed to. I guess that's what
And
we all got to
everybody
do.
will be okay.
And everything will be okay. So guys, I guess that's it for me, dude. I got nothing else to say about fucking Han Solo. I liked it, dude. I fucking liked it. There were things that didn't sit well with me. The way he got his last name, you know.
Yeah,
The
but
timeline is
mashed
shifty for me
potato.
too, because you know I didn't really get an accurate timeline of like when he left. When he escaped from the planet that he was on, right? And he joined the Empire. From the time he left Corellia
Yeah,
and joined the Empire.
there was a time gap between when he joined that crew and then when he finally saw his girlfriend again later working for the villain.
Right.
I didn't even process that there was that much of a time gap until they acted like strangers practically, and I'm like, wait, how much time
Wait.
passed?
Right.
I
So
did
Really,
not get
yeah.
that.
yeah, that for me was a little confusing. I wish they would have done a little bit of better job of letting me know, like, hey, 2 years later, 5
Yeah,
years later.
I mean that never gets old when the screen goes black and you see 10 years later. I mean, come on, that's like a
Like,
necessity.
shit, it's a necessity. So I was a little confused by that during the movie, and then also at the end of the movie. Is the end of the movie Han getting with Jabba the Hutt, and then immediately after that they do the deal where Han loses the spices, and it's the deal that Han and Jabba are talking about at the
I
beginning
think
of
that's
A New
what they were
Hope.
hinting towards,
Or-
but if
or-
if they were planning on doing a trilogy, it seems like it's really close.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
okay, here's the other thing though. Or because this movie hints so much at Legends, right? They take a lot of stuff from the expanded Star Wars universe. In the expanded Star Wars universe, Han Solo works with Jabba the Hutt for a couple of years before A New Hope. So this could possibly be 8 to 10 years before the events of A New Hope.
right.
And that would also be cool to see. Because then you would get to see the people that not only work for Jabba, but possibly the people that work for Jabba working together. What if you got to see a job that Jabba gave to Han, where Han has to work with Boba Fett? Wouldn't that be cool to fucking see? Like, you know, all these people are employed under Jabba the Hutt, and Jabba the Hutt has got shit for them to do. So it would only make sense that at some point they would have to team up for something.
This be true.
I don't know, man. It's just like a shit ton of possibilities that I don't know if they'll ever be touched on again because of the money that this movie lost.
Yeah, I'm pretty. I was disappointed.
Yeah,
Like the day I
for
left the
crappy
Han Solo
reason.
movie, I knew the Han Solo movie flopped before I even went into theaters because people were shitting on it online. So I was like, you know, when I left the theater, instantly I was upset because I'm like, I'm excited for a sequel. I know it's not going to happen. You know.
Yeah, never listen to other people. Go view it yourself. Make your own opinion.
Yeah, go. If you guys haven't, dude, go. Like, if you're a Star Wars fan, if you love Han Solo as a character, I know I do, dude. Like, dude, he's got a fucking Wookiee as a companion, dude. Like, that was fucking awesome to me.
I love how
And-
they met.
You know, and for me, dude, Han was cool because he was the only guy chilling with a Mexican in Star Wars. All right, his buddy was Chewie. All right, like I'm Hispanic. I grew up with a ton of Chewies, so like that was cool to see for me as a kid. And then it gets cooler because you know that you get to realize more about Chewie. Like first, you know, I got to see Chewie as like this cool furry companion. You know, he was awesome. He was badass. He was strong. He could rip some arms straight out of some sockets, which we get to see in this movie. Right? We get to see fucking Chewie rip someone's arm off. So thank you, Solo movie, again for delivering on something. And then we get to learn about Chewie. We get to learn about how his homeworld is Kashyyyk. He doesn't. You guys remember a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, they told us that the Wookiees and the Ewoks came from the same planet.
Yeah.
Looks like you
Think
don't.
so.
But yeah, so
Endor?
at one point, they told us that like Endor was the home planet for all furry things, and then it turns out that like it wasn't. JK, Chewie was actually from Kashyyyk, and we get to see Kashyyyk in Revenge of the Sith, right? We get to see Kashyyyk with clone troopers and how they're fighting off the Separatists, and then we get to see Order 66 happen, and the clones basically turn against the Jedi, and Chewie has a big hand in helping Yoda escape. So that's really cool. Like Chewie's been an intricate part of Star Wars history, you know, from when he was young. And if you take this, Chewie's 190 years old in the Solo movie.
Yep.
So the Solo movie, which takes place like 30, let's say roughly, you know, about 25 years after the Revenge of the Sith. So that means that Chewie is possibly like around 170 when he's helping Yoda off of Kashyyyk. And then that would make him like 240 maybe during The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. So currently Chewie's like 240 years old, give or take a few years.
Yeah.
Like, that's really cool. I don't know how long a fucking
That's
Wookiee is
crazy.
supposed to live, but I feel they're like sea turtles where they live for like 300 years or some shit.
Sea turtles.
You know? So I don't know, man. That's cool. And what Saturn says, like, Saturn went into this. He's like, I didn't really see Chewie as like a really big character in Star Wars, but during this movie, I learned more about him, and like I like understand him more, and he's been fleshed out as a fucking character. So now I care more for this character, and I'm like, yeah, dude. Like Chewie's been fleshed out forever. Like. You just had to be there. You just have to be there for the expanded universe, the stories, and everything that fucking Chewie's been through. I don't know if you guys know this, but in the expanded universe, okay, Han Solo has kids with Leia. He has 2 kids, okay? He has, Anakin.
Are they twins?
They are twins. Anakin and Jada, I think. And then, of course, Anakin follows in the footsteps of his grandfather and becomes a Sith, and he ends up killing Chewie. So, right.
I didn't want to hear that.
I know. Well, it's not going to happen because Kylo Ren killed Han instead of Chewie.
Yeah.
That's what it should have been. Kylo Ren should have killed Chewie off, and that would have been more accurate to what Legends had. But it's fine. Don't worry about it. What's done is done. But yeah, dude, Chewie's always been an amazing character, dude. Things that I'm sad that I didn't get to see. So there's that oath. There's the life oath, right? That Han and Chewie make because Han saves Chewie's life. So now Chewie is like devoted to Han forever. That's something that I was a little sad that we didn't get to in the movie. Something that really isn't touched on. And the second thing that makes me sad that didn't get touched on was how Chewie got his bowcaster. Like that iconic Chewie gun. Like, I was expecting to like see how he gets that.
Yeah, he didn't have it in this movie, did he?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, because I don't remember that at all.
So, it was something that I thought I was going to get to see, maybe it was like an Empire, it was an Imperial weapon that he got, I don't know, man. I just, we saw the history of Han's blaster. I don't know why we didn't get to see the history of Chewie's gun. That would have been cool. So, yeah, again, dude, just a couple of things that I wish would have been in the movie, but besides that, dude, the movie was great. It's, it's like needing a little extra salt in my fucking meal. Like, it wasn't a bad meal. So, you know what, man? I loved it, dude. I fucking loved it. Can't wait for it to come out. I'm really curious about what shots were originally shot
Taken
by...
out.
Well, not only the ones that were taken out, but shots that were originally shot by the first 2 directors. And the shots that were shot afterwards by Ron Howard. What was Ron Howard and what wasn't. That'll be interesting to see, because Lord and Miller were originally the directors for this one. Lego Movie, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
I think people forgot that was a Ron Howard film.
Yeah, like now it's because of Lord and Miller.
And
dude.
Ron Howard does not make bad movies.
Again, Ron Howard came in and took the project of other directors, and those directors had already been done shooting like 70% of the film. So Ron Howard had to come in there and like reshoot scenes and rework movies and change scenes. So again, it's something that I don't know if they'll throw in the special features, but I would really like to know what was Lord and Miller's and what was Howard's.
Yeah, I mean, that's naturally probably a question for a lot of people who loved the Solo movie, so they should tackle that. Like,
yeah, guys.
If they release Solo, they should release the cut that would have been the other guys.
That would be cool. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever get to see that. But yeah, guys, I guess that'll do it for the Solo review. Let's plug it up and let's get out of here, because this has been a long one. So, Gowsy, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Dave Jersey, Plattsburgh, New York, and DJJ Gow on Twitter.
Fantastic. And Saturn, where can people come to you and then tell you how much Solo sucked?
Hey,
Life on Saturn on Facebook and on all other social media such as YouTube, etc. Life on Saturn space LOS. Life on Saturn is one word, then hit the space bar, then type LOS.
There you guys go. Guys, I'm Soup Kitchen. That's SOOPKICHEN. And you guys can catch me here live on Twitch Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. Central Time. If you guys can catch previous episodes of Waking Up with Soup and Sugah on YouTube. And if you want to take them on the go, you can also listen to them on Podbean. Guys, thank you for tuning in. However, as you tune in, whether it's live here on Twitch or later on YouTube, we appreciate the support. And if you are on Podbean, please hit that subscribe to our show so you get new notifications whenever the new episodes come out. And I do try to get them out everything on a Tuesday. So guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week, which will be a Friday episode, not a Tuesday episode.
Not a Tuesday where I got confused.
Where, Gauzy's got a little confused. And we'll have a special guest. That's why we're doing it on different days, because of our special guest. So guys, catch you.
It's a mystery to me too.
Mystery guest. Well, I don't want to say that we're gonna have this person as a guest and they don't show up, and then for whatever reason, it's just it's better to say we're gonna have a guest, and if they show up, they can tell you who they are. All right.
Yeah.
So, guys, we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Peace. Bye.